Hello and welcome to Cricket Country's live analysis of the third and final test between India and New Zealand. I'm Kaustubh Maikar, and with me today is Surajit Mustafi.
Hello.
Well, what a day we had. It's Dussehra, all Indians are in festive mood, and India beat New Zealand by 321 runs. They whitewashed New Zealand for the first time in a three-match series. Just to rewind back, India needed just 9 wickets to reach glory in the last session. Everyone expected the match to go down to the wire on day 5, but it was Ravichandran Ashwin's magical 7 for that caught New Zealand in trance. I will talk to our expert Sunil Mustafi about Ravichandran Ashwin. It was his 21st 5 wickets or more in his 39th match. He has won man of the series 7 times, which is more than Sachin Tendulkar and Virendra Sehwag, and 4 less than the legend Muthaiya Muralidharan. Only his 39th match. He's very young. He's likely to play another, let's say, 70 to 80 matches.
What do you say about Ashwin? What do you say about Ashwin? I mean, even Virat Kohli was at loss of words when he was asked to, describe him. He just simply said that he's in a different zone. He shouldn't be counted in with the rest 10.
Yeah.
So 39 tests, 7 man of the series, and he's just played 14 series.
14 series, yeah.
He's just played 14 series. He's equalized He's equalized Wasim Akram and Shivnarayan Chanderpaul. Chanderpaul has played 60 series, and the great Wasim Akram has played 43 series.
Okay.
Ashwin has played 14 series.
14 series.
He has won man of the series in 7 of them.
And now, to add to the fire, India will play 5-match series against England at home. India will play a 4-match series against Australia at home, and then a one-off test series against Bangladesh. So all in all, Ravichandran Ashwin will play at least 9 matches.
Ravichandran Ashwin, you would have expected that if it was a 3-match series against England and 2-match series against any other side, then by the end of this season, we would have seen him equalize Muralidharan.
Yeah, there were other positives in the series as well. India's middle order stuttered in the first match. India's middle order struggled in the second match. They were around 229 for 6, 229 for 7. It was Riddhiman Saha, who these days is considered the most valuable player in the test team after Ravichandran Ashwin. He batted below Rohit Sharma. He batted below Ravichandran Ashwin at number 8. And still managed to take India out of the woods.
I was very happy. Kohli mentioned Saha's contribution in the post-match presentation ceremony. And see, the point is, even if you see Saha's contribution in this test, he's fantastic behind the stumps. Those takes. These are very difficult conditions to keep wickets. Watling is another champion wicketkeeper. We saw him struggle. We saw him literally struggle, though he also did a pretty good job. And Saha was fantastic. And then again, Saha at number 8, coming up with those kind of contributions, which actually took the game away from New Zealand in the last test. And absolutely phenomenal. And I think he is successfully fit into MS Dhoni's shoes because he can bat with the tail. He is a brilliant wicket keeper. He is a complete team man. And again, with Saha and Ashwin, as a bowler, wicket keeper, then even down the order, I think it's for a long time. They will be the vital cogs of the test side.
There was another bright aspect. Rohit Sharma, for the past couple of series, hasn't been providing the much needed impetus. Sri Lanka last year scored half century, but when he toured New Zealand 2-3 years ago, he could not perform consistently. He was being criticized greatly. He comes to the series, scores 3 half centuries, bats at number 6. Virat Kohli believes in him, and he did justify his place.
True, and I think Rohit should consider himself really lucky because the team management has backed him, especially Virat Kohli. Each and every press conference he has gone out, he has backed Rohit Sharma. He has, he bore the brunt of the criticism that every time Rohit Sharma failed, people asked Kohli questions that why Rohit Sharma is playing, and finally it's good that at Eden Gardens that 82 was a fantastic knock. Even the 68 not out that he got in Kanpur was very valuable.
50 in this match.
50 in this match as well. So I mean, 50 he was actually allowed by the team management to score those 50 runs. So I think it's good to see that Rohit making things count. But having said so, I mean, again, that jeopardizes India's five bowler theory, which Kohli had, stuck with for a long time. So if India again employ the five bowler theory, so probably Rohit may have to sit out. But then that is fine. You have somebody of Rohit's caliber now that he's scoring runs as your sixth batsman. So good, he made it count.
There was another bright aspect with Ravindra Jadeja. Ravichandran Ashwin at the presentation ceremony said that he needs no introduction. We know how what are his capabilities as a left arm spinner. As an all-rounder, Jadeja played a vital role in the Lord's Test match where India won after 28 years. After that, we did not see Ravindra Jadeja scoring runs heavily. But this series, in the first match or the second match, he scored those vital runs with Saha in the tail end, in the last overs. How crucial was his role as an all-rounder in the team, given that India played only 4 bowlers attack?
See, Jadeja has done brilliantly as a bowler. If we see his bowling average, I mean, it's as good as Ashwin's. But then, Jadeja, the all-rounder, needed to fire. And in the first test, he did that with perfection. 2 not-out scores, 150, and that was good to see. But then I would like Jadeja to, believe the fact that, he's an all-rounder. The first class record that he has, he needs to think more as a batsman, like how Ashwin thinks. I like the way Ashwin approaches batting. I think Jadeja can probably learn a lot from that, because I was a bit disappointed in the Eden Gardens Test where I felt Jadeja at times he threw his wicket away.
But what was that the role given to him? Go there and go all guns blazing?
I see. Looking at the match situation, I mean, sometimes you have to analyze things. Like we saw Pujara, mixing caution with aggression. When he was not getting, he was trying it today morning when he was trying to get score those brisk runs. He was not getting it. He bought his time, but then when things started well, I mean, he started scoring. So Jadeja probably could have done that, but there is a difference between the skill set of a Mohammad Shami and a Ravindra Jadeja, and that is where Jadeja's role comes in. And I think Jadeja has a decent technique. I would not say he's technically very solid, but then he can come out, he can score those quick runs. Once he's set, then he can play some very good shots. So Jadeja should think like a batsman. He has shown glimpses of the same in this particular series, and I just hope that he carries on. It will be great for Indian cricket.
The Indian team is likely to face a particular conundrum, the top order conundrum, the opening conundrum. KL Rahul was injured after the first match. Kohli said that Dhawan is a natural replacement. Dhawan played in second match. He got injured. Gambhir was already in the squad. Gambhir scored vital runs this series. So Dhawan, given his performance, is likely to sit out of the squad. Let's see what happens. But if you were to choose between Rahul and Gautam Gambhir with Murli Vijay, who would you go for?
See, it would be very unfair for KL Rahul to, if Gautam Gambhir is persisted with in the next test, along with Murli Vijay. But having said so, I'm not very sure that if Murli Vijay is guaranteed a place. I mean, no doubt Murli Vijay.
He averages 31.
He averages 31 in this series. He was unlucky, but today, I mean, it was a bit laziness from him that cost him his wicket. But again, I mean, Vijay has been fantastic in the. I mean, we cannot just go by the numbers. The way he applies himself, he
has been fantastic overseas. More than that is.
I mean, but then I'm not looking much into the South African series because none of the Indian batsmen, barring Rahane, in the final test, got going. And in this series also, I think Murli Vijay and Cheteshwar Pujara are. These two have knitted some really strong partnerships for India, and it will be very unfair for Vijay. So I think it's a happy position to be in. Like you have 4 good openers with you, and 3 of them are in form. But if India sticks to the left hand right hand theory, so I think probably they can they can persist with Gautam Gambhir, because again, if they drop Gambhir, there is no substantial reason behind it. Gambhir could have come in and he could have looked for his own selfish reasons and gone for a snail paced 100, but he did not do that. He knew the need of the hour was to score brisk runs. He did that. The first innings he was looking good. And Gambhir has a lot of experience, and against a side like England, you would be needing that. So I think see now Rahul and Gambhir, both of them are not in the one day squad, and if once Rahul regains fitness, I like to see how they go ahead in the Ranji Trophy games, and probably that is where they can analyze the situation and the form they are in, and take a decision.
Well, now that we have spoken about spinners and batsmen, any word on Indian pacers? Ishant Sharma was out due to illness. He did not play all 3 matches. He has been India's bowling spirit for past couple of years. Umesh Yadav played well in the first match. He was dropped in the second because Kolkata track had some tinge of grass on it. Bhuvaneshwar then sat out due to injury. Shami played with Umesh Yadav. If Ishant Sharma is fit, should he play for India?
See, I don't think so. That it will again depend on conditions, but if you look at the current scenario, the first 2 choices would be Shami, definitely. I think Shami is the leader of the pack, and Bhuvaneshwar Kumar, because Bhuvaneshwar Kumar has been fantastic in the opportunities that he has got, and once he regains fitness, I see Bhuvi walking into the side. So if there are, the top 2 seamers, my top 2 seamers would be them. Ishant Sharma, I know. Again, I'll see how he performs in the Ranji Trophy, and if his form is really good and it is something that he can't be kept out, then probably the management can come up with a decision.
Well, now talking about India's most talismanic cricketer, Virat Kohli. Ever since he became captain, he hasn't lost a Test series yet. He lost 1 match in Sri Lanka last year. Then India beat South Africa. Then India beat West Indies. Now India beat New Zealand. Any word on his captaincy?
See, I think it's still a learning phase for him, but what I like is his approach. He's a very positive character. He's an aggressive character. He likes to go for wins. Like Kohli mentioned, the first game that he captained in Australia back in that emotionally charged Adelaide Test post Phil Hughes' death. His intent was clear. India were chasing some 360 odd, 350, 360 odd, and Kohli just went to the dressing room and he said that we are going for this win. We are going for this win, and we want to. That is what set things apart. If you have that kind of a mindset, every time you walk out, the results were bound to come. And but as a captain, he still has a long way to go. He's still learning, though he will have the records coming his way because of the man that we discussed, Ravichandran Ashwin, has been taking all the wickets. But I think he should have gone with his spinners more in the fourth innings. We might have seen that the game ending much before. With 2 balls remaining, we all had our hearts in our mouths. So it wouldn't have gone that close. So probably I believe he could have gone more with the spinners.
But what commendable is that Virat Kohli often takes decisions that defy cricketing logic. We armchair cricket fanatics criticize him for that, but in the end, result is something that matters, and Virat Kohli is always towards the brink of victory. Is the attitude that matters, because some of the decisions do not make sense. Is it it's true, right? All of a sudden he dropped Murli Vijay in West Indies. He dropped Cheteshwar Pujara, then he batted at number 3. He brought in Cheteshwar Pujara, he batted at number 4. But what is it that defines Virat Kohli?
I think his attitude. His attitude, whenever he walks out, you see that he wants to win. There is nothing. There's no thing called defensiveness about him. But at the same time, he is an astute reader of the game. He has a brilliant mind. He thinks about the game. He analyzes the situation, which we have seen him do since a very young age, because he has been scoring a lot of runs in limited overs cricket. So I think it is the attitude that matters, and eventually, if it had been a reason like, okay, fine, probably Pujara is playing slow in this game. I drop him. I pick Rohit Sharma. No,
Yeah.
that is not the case. He wants somebody to come at number. He has a plan. I mean, whether we agree with it or not, he has a plan.
He
has a
hasn't
reason behind it.
played the same starting 11 ever since he became a captain.
Yeah, that is
horses for course is one thing, but to not play this same starting 11 ever since he became captain, almost 2 years now.
yes. But then I think most of the times it has been he's been forced to do so because of
Yeah.
injuries or condition. Like I mean, with Dhawan not playing this test, Gambhir had to come in. With Bhuvneshwar injured, again you had Umesh coming in. I just hope that that is the case and there is no superstition behind it, because because in the long run then it might start hurting the side.
Talking about Indore crowd, Holkar Stadium made its test debut. Hometown of India's first captain, C.K. Naidu. Our colleague Chinmay went to saw the match this weekend. He said that there were 18,000 people. 20 on first day. On second day, there were 22,000. Overall, all in all, in 4 days, we saw almost 1 lakh people attending
Yes,
the match, compared to the Kolkata Test match. And given that Test cricket has been going out of sync with fans who follow shorter formats, Ravichandran Ashwin at the presentation said that it took him down memory lane. It reminded of the
90s.
of the 90s, people coming out to enjoy Test match cricket. What would you say about that?
I mean, I have been to I know what it feels like, going inside a 100,000 capacity Eden
Yeah.
Gardens and just being a part of it. And I was really surprised, how over the years the numbers have dropped, especially in the bigger cities.
Yeah.
I mean, even in Kolkata, in Mumbai, we do not get to see a lot of people turning out for Test cricket. Probably that has to do with the advent of IPL, because these cities get a lot of match. Earlier, it used to be a holiday time going and watching Test cricket, because once a year or maybe twice a year you had those matches. But with IPL, a lot of people go.
Yeah.
And with the influx of T20 cricket, a lot of people think that the slam bam format is here to stay, and that
Yeah.
is what cricket is. And but then these kind of centers, Indore and Kanpur, they have been deprived of a lot of IPL cricket.
Yeah.
And over there, Indore has a rich cricketing history, a rich cricketing heritage. A lot of players, like a lot of young budding cricketers, are from the cities. There is a lot of MP cricketers hail from Indore. So it's I mean, they do not get that much of international cricket. So that is the reason I think BCCI decided to host Test cricket in these
Yeah.
smaller centers, and they are reaping benefit. And I think that is a way to go ahead, because some 11,000-12,000 people turning out in Eden Gardens does not make any sense. And
Yeah.
rather you go and like you told about, you mentioned the numbers, 22,000 people
Yeah.
turning out every day. Not to forget that the capacity of the entire stadium is around 27,000. So it's brilliant. And I mean, that is the reason I mean, Ashwin was a very nice gesture from Ashwin to
Yeah.
thank the Indore crowd.
We the 80s and the 90s kids grew up watching Australia dominating the longest format. And when Saurav Ganguly made us believe that we can dominate the ICC Test rankings, Anil Kumble made us believe that we can do so. In 2009, India became number 1 team under MS Dhoni's captaincy. India became number 1 team 2 months ago when they toured West Indies. Pakistan performance against England was good. Hence, they dethroned India from number 1 spot. And now India back to number 1 spot again. And Virat Kohli received a test mace from the great Sunil Gavaskar. India will play more 9 test matches at home. So isn't it a special feeling for the people from the 80s and the 90s to see India finally dominating test cricket?
Yeah, there were these men like Sanat Jayasuriya and Shahid Anwar and Matthew Hayden
In the 90s, yeah.
who have actually ruined
Ruined
our childhood.
yeah.
So, I mean, it is a special feeling. I think, and again, just to mention that fact, had we won the final test in West Indies, I believe India would have, had there been a complete test, India would have retained the number 1 spot, despite Pakistan beating England in Oval. But this is a special feeling, and I hope Virat Kohli has a massive fan following, and kids these days, they want to go for the slam bang T20 format. I hope now this has made them believe that this is the real format. Test cricket is what matters.
Yeah.
The test mace is what matters, and this was a very proud moment. And uh, I just hope that a lot of youngsters, they come out and they think that this is what Indian team in white, that is where they see themselves in the future. So I hope it will do a lot of good for Indian cricket, and I just hope that the test may stays with us for a longer time.
Yeah. Well, we have a question from a fan called Aniket. He wants to know more about New Zealand performance. New Zealand played well against Pakistan in UAE 2 years ago. In the first two matches, like we use the idiom more often in cricket country, they punched well above the weight. Ravichandran Ashwin, after the first innings, he said that no other overseas team has performed so well as New Zealand have. We're disappointed the way they approached the second innings to bundle out in a session's time the team that performed well in the first two matches, which put up a good fight compared to what Australia did 2 years ago, compared to what South African batsmen did a year ago. Were you a little bit disappointed in second innings?
I was very disappointed because having been here for almost like a month's time now, and having played cricket in these conditions, Indore presented you with the best batting track, best batting surface. I mean, you expected them to come out and fight, but they looked like a tired bunch. They had already, lost the match in their minds. There's over reliance on Kane Williamson, on the captain. He'll come out and bail them, and there was absolutely no application. And I'm really disappointed with Ross Taylor because he came out. It was not just because the kind of shots that he was playing today. It was just because he knew that going offense was the best defense against Ravichandran Ashwin. There was no. It was a meek surrender, I believe, and I'm disappointed. Being a New Zealand fan, I wanted them to, put up a better fight and take the game to the next day at least.
Well, talking about New Zealand more, we often see overseas teams struggling in India. Kane Williamson at the presentation ceremony said that it's a privilege to play against one of the top spinners and top team. New Zealand is considered one of the best. What do overseas team need to do to at least put up a good fight against India? They bowled well. The Pacers did well. Matt Henry was good. Neil Wagner was good in the first Test match. Trent Bolt has been excellent throughout the series. Santner did well. Sodhi was not up to his mark in the first Test match. Jeetan Patel did well. They did well, but where did they falter? What do they need to do at least outfox India in one session at least?
They needed what happened. The batsmen did not fire. They just surrendered to Ashwin. And they always expected that whenever Williamson played, Williamson will come out and he will take them through. There was, I think, the McCullum factor was there because in the recent times in big tours like in Pakistan or against Pakistan in UAE, we saw McCullum step up, and McCullum was not a guy who was very consistent and who scored runs in every innings, but that one impact innings that he would play in one series, that would just completely change the mindset of the Kiwis. Guptill, he did not look sure. I think New Zealand lost an opportunity to play Guptill in the middle order. He kept failing at the top. They persisted with him. There was lack of planning, and I feel that I personally feel on current form, Watling is the second best batsman in the side. And
should he bat up the order?
Definitely, he should be, because in England when he scored that 120 that helped them level the series, he was batting at number 6. And now you see him bat at number 7 or number 8. It's just kind of odd, and it's too low. You don't want to see Butler, somebody like Watling batting with Trent Bolt. So some of the decisions did not make enough sense, and this is a young side. What they need to do is probably build a bench strength. They have an excellent opener back home, Jeet Raval, again of Indian origin. He averages around 43, 44 in domestic cricket, and they should invest more on these players, and let go the ones who have not been performing well for a long time. They need to take some harsh decisions if they have to build a team in the long run.
Well, moving on, talking about the England series, England has been the only team who defeated India in the past couple of years at home. It was a different team then. Now it's a different team now. Same captain. Couple of bowling changes, spin changes here and there, batting changes here and there. But England has been one of the most consistent teams for the past 2 or 3 years. Is it going to be a tough challenge for India? Tougher challenge compared to what it was against New Zealand?
Definitely. It will be a tougher challenge because I mean they have some quality batsmen. Like this team was completely reliant on Williamson.
Yeah.
When the second test Williamson did not play, they just completely lost it. They have likes of Alistair Cook. We saw what he did. He is a very good player of spin bowling. He used the sweep shot to a great effect, which we saw Tom Latham do it quite successfully this time. Then again, you have a matured Joe Root. He made his debut in the last series against India. He scored good, and so I mean they will be probably missing somebody like Kevin Peterson. But then I mean the Root's maturity sort of makes it up. They also have a young side.
Hales at the top order. Then they have Cook, followed by Root. Then a couple of middle order batsmen. Moeen Ali has been good. Moeen Ali performed well against India.
These are Indian conditions, subcontinent conditions. I don't know how much effective.
And 5-match series.
Yeah,
tougher challenge.
How effective Moeen Ali will be or a Chris Wokes will be. I mean, they are all good players. If you take them to South Africa, if they play in England, they're a good side. There is Ben Stokes, not to forget, if he's fit. Johnny Bairstow. They have a lot of exciting young players. But how they adapt to these conditions, because you will expect Indians to go with. I mean, maybe I won't be surprised if they dish out rank turners, because India and England have always enjoyed this rivalry. I mean, a green track greeted the Indians at Lords, where they managed to defeat them. I mean, it was absolutely green. You couldn't differentiate it from the playing area and the pitch. I mean, it was that green. It was that green, and I mean, so India may go on to dish out rank turners, and England did not do very well against Pakistan when they toured UAE last year. So India will be favourites again, but it will be definitely a tougher challenge.
Well, we have a question from Ashish Acharya. He wants to know, can New Zealand defeat India in the 5-match ODI series?
Definitely, I believe that is where what New Zealand will be planning to. New Zealand are a better and limited over side. They have horses for courses. They have likes of Santner.
And they beat India in the T20 opener this year.
Yes, they did. That is why I believe and then again, I mean, when Guptill steps, I mean, he removes his white clothes, and when he plays that, when he dons the Kiwi blacks and the ball is white, he's a completely different player. I mean, he's one of the best batsmen in the world. The average is around 43, 44. Ross Taylor has been decent in limited overs cricket. Williamson, again, he's a world class player. They also have good spinners. Like Santner has been very impressive. So and they have a good team. I think and if you remember, India have not been very good in ODI cricket after the World Cup. So
which brings me to another question. MS Dhoni, the only Indian cricketer who manages to steal thunder from Virat Kohli. Off late, India has been struggling in the shorter formats. India was supposed to win the ICC T20 World Cup 2016. They lost one T20 to Zimbabwe. They lost an ODI series in Bangladesh last year. There's no sign of his retirement yet. I mean, you never know. There's ICC Champions Trophy next year. How does Mahendra Singh Dhoni approach now? He hasn't been playing a lot of cricket off late. He has enough experience. We know that what he has done for Indian cricket. How does he approach? There have been talks about Virat Kohli replacing Mahendra Singh Dhoni as the captain in shorter formats. Do you think Kohli is a threat to MS Dhoni?
See, Kohli is definitely a threat to MS Dhoni's captaincy, but then I don't know how long MS Dhoni wants to cling on to it. And I still believe MS Dhoni has a lot to contribute as a cricketer, because MS Dhoni is as a limited overs batsman, he can still contribute. I think he's 35 now. Yeah, he's 35, so he can
still fit. He can still run fast between the wickets, faster than Virat Kohli. To be honest,
I mean, he's one of the quickest between the wickets, no doubt.
Behind the wickets as well.
Excellent wicket keeper, especially in subcontinent conditions against spinners. He's brilliant. I think, see, it's been a long time since Dhoni has been captaining the one-day side. We are in 2016. It's been 9 years.
Yeah.
I mean, all great things do end. Every good captain has an expiry date. I think it is. I mean, I'll say this, that it's time for Virat Kohli to take over, and MS Dhoni should play
As
under Kohli as maybe as a wicketkeeper batsman, because I still believe in limited overs format. He's the best that India have, and probably what Kohli can make him do is help move him up the order, and because we have seen that he has not been finishing games as well. So against Zimbabwe, like you were mentioning about the losses in West Indies, US,
India needed 2 of the last ball. Mahendra Singh Dhoni at crease, Dwayne Bravo on the other end. He just needed 2 runs. It was a slower delivery, and Mahendra Singh Dhoni was dismissed.
Yes, I mean it has been happening quite often of late.
Yeah,
and I believe that, I mean, I would not like to blame Dhoni for it, because he has successfully pulled off games so many times. So this is bound to happen. But having said so, I think it's time that India start looking for other finishers. And MS Dhoni he's at his fag end of his career. I mean, if he goes on to play another 2 years, maybe another 2 until the next World Cup, if we say another 3 years, but I mean, in this time, why not make use of MS Dhoni, the batsman? We have seen Dhoni coming up the order, scoring those 148.
Which brings me to another question. Now we have Manish Pandey. He successfully finished a game in Australia this year. And Mahendra Singh Dhoni's record at the top order is better compared to at number 5 and number 6. Should he bat at number 4? Virat Kohli at number 3. Dhawan is injured. So KL Rahul, if fit.
Suresh Raina is back in the side.
So Rahul opens with, let's say, Ajinkya Rahane. Number 3, Virat Kohli. Number 4.
For this series?
Yeah.
This series, Rahul is not playing.
Not playing.
No, Rahul is still to recover from his injury. So we have Rohit Sharma and his good friend Rahane opening.
So number 3, Virat Kohli. Number 4 should be Manish Pandey, Suresh Raina, or Mahendra Singh Dhoni. Suresh Raina can finish. He has done it in the past, but he throws away his wicket. Manish Pandey has calm head over his shoulders. Should Mahendra Singh Dhoni bat at number 4?
I believe Mahendra Singh Dhoni should bat at number 4. Maybe Pandey at 5 and Raina at 6. I mean, Raina wants to bat up the order, but then that is the role that has been given to him. He should take it over from Dhoni, and he has done it successfully a lot of times. And this is a very crucial series for Raina, because he's making a comeback to the side. He was out of the side for a long time. He was not picked for the Australia tour, neither for Zimbabwe. So, yeah.
So let's say that we have a hypothetical situation. India need 100 of the last 7 to 8 overs. Mahendra Singh Dhoni is at the crease. This Suresh Raina is at the crease. Who should take charge? Mahendra Singh Dhoni or Suresh Raina? Who should just say anchor the innings?
And in that situation, like if you're saying from 7 overs, 100 runs required, both the batsmen will have to.
But Mahendra Singh Dhoni, as we know, the kind of personality that he is, he lives it to the last 3-4 overs and still manages to pull off.
No, but that is a problem. I mean, in the recent times, if we see, he hasn't been able to do so, and most of the time he has just kept it for too late. And then he has not been able to finish those games. Every time you won't be pulling it off. I mean, rather than that, just go for your usual approach. Why keep it for the last moment? I mean, India should have. I believe India should have won that match against West Indies.
We could have got the series as well. The next match was washed out. So the final conclusion: do you think New Zealand have edge over India?
I wouldn't say so, because playing in India always have the edge. But then remember, Ashwin is not playing. There is no Jadeja. There a lot of important.
Akshar Patel is there.
A lot of important players have been given a break. So it will be a good opportunity for.
Is it wise to give them a break? Given that Steven Smith left the series midway, we have been going through the same scenario for the past couple of years, that players have been leaving the series midway. Is it wise to leave Ravichandran Ashwin out?
Yes, I think it does make sense, because it is a decision that the management has taken before the selector sat down to select the team. That Ashwin is very crucial for India's chances for the if they have to remain number one, we cannot afford England to come here and beat us, and we cannot afford to lose the number one title. And Ashwin is very, very crucial for this. So is Jadeja. So some of the key players have been given break, because I mean they have been bowling like what, 28, 30 overs in an innings, every innings after innings. So the body is tired. I won't be surprised like if Ashwin. That does not mean that they will not be playing the one day cricket. That is why the selectors have selected team for 3 matches. In the final two, if there is a requirement, definitely an Ashwin, Jadeja can come back and help India win.
Well, what a test season we had so far. India beat West Indies in their own den. India beat New Zealand now 3-0. 9 more test matches still to go. And what follow is a 5-match ODI series, which will see Mahendra Singh Dhoni back at the helm. That's it from us. And before we leave, wish you happy Dussehra once again. For more cricketing updates, log on to cricketcountry.com. Thank you and have a lovely evening.
Thank you.